until I got the challenge from Jen, and then I don't know. But one of my favorite shows on NPR is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Yay. And for a long time, I've had this dream that wouldn't it be great if our kids said, wait, don't tell me, let me think. Because we know for them to understand mathematics, they need time to think, they need to struggle, and they also need to critique arguments and defend their thinking. But think about what we do in our effort to try to help them. Think about this problem, typical problem, you're enclosing a dog pen or a play yard or whatever. They give you the dimensions in yards, but they want the answer in feet. And think about what we normally do. We read this problem, we might talk about what to do, we might start to draw it. But wouldn't it be great as we're doing that, our students say, wait, don't tell me, let me think about this. But then what happens to us? We start walking around the room and we're looking at these solutions. And the kids only added 2 sides together, not all 4, and what do you want to do? I bet you want to intervene and say something to them, don't you? And you want to say, oh, or if the bottom one, they didn't even add the fractions right, and you're like, oh God, what's going on here? And you want to intervene. Or they add all the sides correctly, but they got the answer in yards and they haven't gotten it into feet. And I bet you want to help them out and intervene. But once we start doing that, we've got all these solutions, and then how in the world do we debrief it? And if we aren't careful, what happens in that debriefing is we ended up telling them how they should be thinking about these problems, and we now remove their thinking again. And what happens is you change from a very rich, creative thinking. And by the way, when I was a kid, I did stick my tongue out when I was thinking. That's how you knew I was thinking. And then when we intervene, we remove their thinking and nothing. Or they're mimicking whatever we're saying. But wouldn't it be great if when they saw those answers, they asked themselves, why are there so many different ones? Is this a multiple answer type problem? Or which ones aren't possible? And they start working that through, and the thinking and problem solving continues through the problem. And we need to give them time to construct those valuable, I can't talk either, Chris, I'm sorry. Viable arguments, critique the reasoning, and attend to precision. And we'd love for them to say, wait, don't tell me, let me think. Now, early in my career, I got to go to an inner city school in Cleveland and watch a 6th grade teacher in his class do problem solving. And they were just masterful. On Monday, they would get this set of problems of the week, and they would work through these problems on their own until Friday. And on Friday, they would present them. Well, one day, he let us all come in together and watch them do this. And this was one of the problems. Nothing unique about this, a triangular number problem. How many stars are in the one that has 13 stars on the side? Now, the kids, just once they've read the problems, asking questions, scatter. And you'll see some kids working together. You see some kids working on their own. Some will be at their seats. Some are at these floor-to-ceiling chalkboards. And notice this kid who's about to erase. Now, I put this in here because right about now I knew I need to breathe. And you'll have a second slide that'll show this too. It'll just tell us it's ready for new slides, so I'll know to start again. But look at the different attempts he's making. And as he's working through, he erases, see, new slide. Good. All righty. Now, as they're working on this, the teacher walks over and says, how are we doing, men? And they said, oh, we're having some problems with this one. They said, well, what's up? And they said, well, we just started. And he says, oh, really? Does that mean leave me alone? I need time to think about it? And those kids turned and said, yes. They said, wait, don't tell me. Let me think. And notice, he's walking away. And he's letting them actually think about these problems. Because we know for kids to understand math, they need time to think. They need time to rethink. They need time to hear what others are thinking. And then they need time to rethink again. Talk about perseverance. How many of our kids would do this? Now at the end, they present their solutions to their problems. And notice this hand down in the bottom, writing it out in words. What the thing is, they're actually up there in pairs. They're writing it, and the child's showing a number pattern, and he's drawing the actual triangular numbers. Teacher says, I noticed you doing this, but you had the numbers on your problem. Did you work with the numbers or the pictures? He said, well, I really just worked with the numbers. But notice this child is considering his audience as he's presenting his argument. But we've got to remember that kids need time to think to understand math. They need time to struggle. They need time to critique arguments and defend their thinking. And we need to give them the gift of waiting, not telling them, and letting them think. Thank you very much.